thing that's so beautiful, and I'm looking at this green vase right now with this palm in it. Everything's just got this patina on it. You know, it's like, everything looks like it's a photo shoot, you know, that's just designed. I'm staring up at this balcony, and there's dozens and dozens of belts drawing different colors, and blues and greens and oranges. And thank you. Everyone's so friendly.
So art making is about choices, choosing things, what you want to keep in and what you want to get rid of. And what's crazy is when you're starting out, and for those of you more early on the creative path, you know, you're just starting to figure your art out, those choices, what you do, what you make on that page, seem important, and they're kind of scary, and there's a lot of thought, and you don't want to mess up. But what I've discovered as you go further along in this, that to really kind of get somewhere, I don't think it really matters so much what you choose. You know, if you choose that color or this color, or you this shape or that shape, or be this way, or whatever the thing is that you're struggling with, the more important thing is to just make a choice, to just choose. And that's kind of a different way of approaching this art thing, and it's a lot easier. Welcome to Art to Light, a podcast for the creatively curious. My name is Nicholas Wilton, and each week I'll help you rediscover not just the art of your life, but the art in your life. Join me as we explore that perfect blue at twilight, the wild frontiers of art making, and the extraordinary joy of finding your way as you go. So here's the thinking. If you are needing to improve in your art making and you're trying to figure out where you're going, obviously you can't see that in the beginning. So you look outside of yourself and you compare yourself, and you want to do good work, and everything you do maybe doesn't come up to the grade, you know? And so there's pressure. There's pressure to choose, to make an outcome, to have a result that you like. And there's a lot of pressure, and it takes a lot of people out, and a lot of people stop making their art or procrastinate about it, and it stops being fun. And it's slow. It's really slow. But if you can get this idea that it doesn't really matter what you decide, it's just that you decide something, to just get in motion, to choose something. And when you do that, something happens when you're making something. There's a whole ton of information you get. You get this feedback from the thing you just did on that paper or that painting or that sculpture. And then you're better able to say yes or no. Then you're better able to say, oh, more of that or less of that, or that didn't work out so well. So the speed at which you progress is better, is faster, and it's easier. And it's all about the learning. It's all about improvement and not getting stuck in being self-conscious or losing your confidence or feeling like it's not going to turn out, and being so results oriented. When you have things that you're responding to and you're adjusting them and you're just making decisions, you get closer to what it is that you want to make, because there's more decisions. The more decisions you actually make, not ahead of time, not worrying about it ahead of time, trying to figure it out without making it, which isn't really art making. It's just kind of anxiety and just sitting there, staying up late at night, trying to ascertain how you should figure this out. But when you're making those decisions and you're in it and you can see the results of it, then you can kind of fix things. And that's why art is such a great teacher. That's really what you're involved in. You're involved in learning what it is that you will say yes to and that you'll say no to. And the only way you can do that is by having something in front of you. And I've come to the conclusion that it doesn't really make a whole lot of difference if you choose correctly or incorrectly, because both give you that information that then you can correct it, or you can adjust it, you can stop doing this, or you'll have a reaction, a much stronger reaction about what to do instead of wondering what to do. As we go along at this practice, we get better at it. And so that's what we're working on. We're trying to figure out what's the pattern of my yeses and nos. When I'm making work for myself, where does it go? Where does it end up? That is the look of the art. And this is especially in the beginning. We think it's just, we have no idea, but it doesn't take much time, especially when you're not sure.
So the sun's just coming up, and I got up early, and I'm walking through the back streets of Marrakech. It's surprisingly busy already. These scooters that rip around these tiny pathway roads. It's kind of stressful. They just pop out everywhere, and they go fast, and no one's wearing a helmet, of course. And there's just so many people are biking as well, and just the city's just coming alive. I'm standing in front of this public spring. It's so cool. And there's guys washing and stuff. It's just the most beautiful red color. And this is a water source here. That sound is a guy washing, I think he's washing snails. Or are those snails? Are they snails? Snails?
Snails.
Snails. Yeah. Oh my God, they're alive. Jesus. Whoa. Oh, it's halazud? Oh my God, this is a whole pot of snails. Wow, I've got to take a picture of this. For food, for a restaurant, wow. Anyway, this guy right here is he's like washing his hair. It's just crazy. You know, the springs, the water sources in ancient towns, that's the public place where, I remember I was in Africa once, and there's this, I was in this shanty town, and I was saying, God, there's only one place for water in the whole town, and kind of like, God, no running water for any of these homes. And the woman I was talking to said, well, yes, but it's a blessing, because we all meet at the water every day. That's where you go. That's where you see your neighbors and your friends. They couldn't imagine it otherwise. Anyway, there's all these cats here too. And the bread person's just setting up their bread stand. You can hear all these people just biking. It's so cool. And I mean, there is not a helmet in this whole city, I swear to God. I don't know why there's not more accidents, because they go so quickly. I'm peering through the doors right now. This is a leather tanning place. This is it's all cow hides. Hello. Okay, it's beautiful. And there's cats everywhere, of course. And this just scene, I'll take a picture of this. The smell is kind of intense, but it's all these cow hides, just stacks of cow hides, and they're turning them into belts and these buckets of dyes. I mean, just, God, the colors of these dyes is incredible. And there's these little kittens everywhere. Oh my God, I don't know what it is about this town, but there aren't a lot of dogs, but there's cats everywhere. The thing that's so beautiful, and I'm looking at this green vase right now with this palm in it. Everything's just got this patina on it. You know, it's like, everything looks like it's a photo shoot, you know, that's just designed. I'm staring up at this balcony, and there's dozens and dozens of belts drawing different colors, and blues and greens and oranges. And thank you. Everyone's so friendly. And all the equipment, you know, that people use to make stuff it's like antiques. The colors of this town, it's pink and sienna and, oh God, and the metal doors, it's just all this rust and textured walls and alleyways. I don't know how. It's confusing. It's utterly confusing. I mean, I think you'd figure this out once you lived here for a while, but it's like a labyrinth. The thing they do beautifully here is tiles. Everywhere they use tiles, all kinds of colored tiles. Heading down an alleyway and passing little stores that are no more than, 5 feet by 10 feet, just jam-packed with stuff. Here's this cool bakery. How much is this? How much? 2? Okay. What is this called? They got these incredible, what's that right there? Yeah, what is that? Okay, she's making this like massive pancake thing that looks really good, and I'm gonna try to figure out how much this is. Okay, how much? Okay, I'm gonna get this and this here. Yes. You can take that. So I'm coming into a much busier area. There's a guy coming with a donkey cart pulling all kinds of, God, it's just so wild to see like donkeys pulling carts, and they've got, it looks like rice and tons of, I'm not even sure what they're carrying, but they're just so overloaded. Everywhere you go, there's little side alleys, and I think they go into areas where then there's smaller homes, but many of them end in, they're like a rabbit warren, and they end in dead ends. I'm not sure, but there's people just kind of like sitting on the street, and I think they're just homeless, or no, that's okay. Everyone wants to show you things because you're a potential purchaser of something they are selling, but that, like, hello, that's how it always begins. It's sort of interesting. But yeah, I think there's this, it's not, I mean, there's people here that live off of the, generosity of others, elderly. I've seen several blind people, but they just sit in these alleys and streets, and they're kind of taken care of. It's interesting, and they're not sleeping in cardboard shelters. They're sitting. Not sure how it works, but I think that there's an understanding here that the people that are not able to sustain for themselves are kind of, it seems like they're cared for. It's interesting because that man I just passed, who was dressed in these brown robes, and elderly man, and he was sitting there just sleeping, sitting up, and everyone kind of leaves just, there sort of seems to be a bit of respect and dignity to it, that it's understood that there's some people that need help. I do not know how these cats survive here. I'm at this crazy intersection, and this is small. These alleyways are like 5 feet wide. And, you know, I've got most beautiful cats that just, I saw them in the market. They survive, and they're very patient. There was one I saw yesterday that was sitting next to a butcher, and he was on the sidewalk or just on the right in front of it. And I passed him in the morning, and I was like, what is that cat looking at? And then I saw, well, of course, you know, it's the butcher, and there's this huge cowhide hanging there. And this cat was just sitting there patiently waiting. Like, there's no begging here. There's no, they just patiently wait. And I passed later in the afternoon, and the cat's still sitting there in the same spot, just staring at this butcher, which I imagine he probably throws a scrap to this cat. And I've seen the same thing in restaurants, that cats will climb down off the roof or come onto a terrace, and they watch you and they sit there, and they're just like, they don't whine. It's really interesting. So I'm in a real covered area now. You can hear some cat. This place is teeming, and you could hear this cat, another cat. God. This place, in an hour or two, all these doors, it's nothing but doorways, and they all open up, and inside of them are all kinds of stores, from spices to, you know, carpets and jewelry, and God, the colors here are incredible. The pink and oranges, and I think what happens is that these things get painted and repainted, and then they probably were very bright at one time. And God, I'm just, these colors here, it's amazing. And then you know, they're on it's like a stucco, and they just wear down. I'm taking these pictures right here, and I'll include these if you want to go see them in the links, the show notes to this. Okay, so I've just come around the corner. Hello. And it's just an incredible courtyard of leather scraps, all kinds of leather scrap. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, so this is a person, I think, who is making this. Ah, okay. Uh-huh. Oh, I can look in there. Yeah, so it's a leather making factory, natural leather. Yeah, it's nothing but hides. And they make shoes, and the colors of just the scraps. God, it's so beautiful. Thank you. My God. Really, the most valuable thing in this place, in my opinion, is just the colors and the photography and just the visual richness of this place. Hello. This guy's unloading pomegranates.
Yes, one.
Yeah. Oh, well, I guess I'll take two.
Two. Yes.
Where do you get these? Where do you grow them?
Yes. Okay.
Oh, beautiful. Okay. Here. Is that okay?
No. $1.
$1.
No, $2.
No, I don't. Sorry. I only need one pomegranate.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. What's your name?
Yes.
Your name? Your name?
Oui.
Okay.
Le français, non?
Un peu. Je m'appelle Nicholas. Et vous?
Mohamed.
Mohammed? Okay. Thank you. So he's unloading these piles, these boxes of pomegranates. They're just huge. It's crazy here. And this cart is being pulled by this, God, this horse is so tired looking. Hello. Oh boy, not friendly. God, that's a really tired looking horse. Everything's so worn here, you know. But they sell pomegranates here like apples. People, and they bust them open, and And people eat them like walking around. It's kind of crazy. I think, in California, pomegranates are like you might throw some seeds on a salad, but here they eat them it's the thing. They just eat them raw, straight, just as a fruit. I think this is the guy. There he goes. See you later. He's delivering pomegranates. Like that's this guy's job. He goes through these little alleyways delivering pomegranates to all the stores and all the restaurants. So I can hear there's some owl up. The buildings, the homes or the structures here are 2 stories high, and this alleyway is 8 feet across, and I can hear an owl that's living up there. That's the sound of a guy making fresh squeezed orange juice. There's a sort of internal, external thing that goes on here, where there's so many walls, and outside the walls is this cacophony of, cellars and motorcycles and cats and people and busyness and so much activity. But then on the other side of the walls are all the courtyards and the homes and the privacy. There's like a interesting component to this place, and like I'm peering through this green door here through the cracks, and it's so tranquil on the other side. It's the people have this as well. There's an outward facing and definitely an inside facing that you feel like it's a little hard to grasp.
So how old are you guys? How old? 7? 8? 9? Oh, okay. I'm Nick. Nick. What's your name? Nick? Nick. Right. Nick. Oh my God, these guys are so cute. Je m'appelle what? Abdullah. Zur.
Abdurrahman.
You say?
Abdurrahman.
Okay, I can't say that one. That's beautiful. What's your name?
Yahya.
Okay. Great. So I just got an idea. I have all these candies, all these sweets. Do you guys want some of these? I bought too many. Oh my God, I think they're gonna like this. Do you want some of these? Oh yeah, they're all over it. Whoa, let's eat them all. Oh my God, this biscotti is so good. No. You guys go to school. You go to school, l'école. Okay, bye you guys. Wait, have the rest. Oh my God, they're all over it. Thank you, very good. Merci.
Thank you very much.
Okay, good. Merci. Au revoir.
Maghreb. Muslim.
The what?
Moroccan.
Okay.
Moroccan.
America.
Romarens.
California. California, United States.
جينا معك. صافي. نمشيو تاعنا تجينا وتلقينا تما وخلينا نعيش تما في كاليفورنيا.
Okay.
الامريكان الرومارنز
Oh my God, these guys are so cute. I don't understand. It's a dance. Can you dance? Okay, au revoir.
So I ended up spending a good couple hours cruising all over Marrakech, of which I just shared 20 minutes with you. And I had to catch a flight, and now I'm back in the Bay Area, and I listened to that. And what I love is that those little experiences that I had with those kids, and finding this guy watching snails, and, the pomegranate salesman, the colors, those experiences that I had are kind of like art to me. I mean, art that's working. They're potent for me, and I remember them. And they bring me alive when I think of them. And this also affects my art. When I feel that way, I'm more creative. So I don't know, I'm probably not explaining it right, but it's like it's a way of being that optimizes you for being creative. Like I can think of that, I can listen to that audio, and I can remember those experiences, and those connect me to myself and what lights me up, which when I feel that way, I feel inspired. And when I feel inspired, I'm more creative. So it's easier to get back into what I love doing. So if you can kind of lean into this idea that, you know, your art and your life aren't really separate, but in fact, they exist and support each other, that when you get one optimized, it can help the other, and to think of it all wrapped up together. Anyway, I've left some photos of that walk. If you go to arttolife.com and click on podcasts, there's a bunch of photos there. It's hard, I know, to imagine colors. So this is a cool place, a good spot to go to check that out. Also, for some of you guys who are still excited about learning color and really getting that, I have a free color tips PDF that you can get from colortipspdf.com. And in it, I go over the 5 aspects of color. This can be a huge game changer, a way of thinking about color that can really, really help your work. So go check that out. Listen, thanks so much for being here, and I will talk to you real soon. Hey, thanks for listening to the Art to Life show. If you enjoyed the podcast, please help me get the word out by sharing it with your friends on Instagram at arttolife_world. The recording of this and all episodes, along with a place to leave comments, see additional photos, and discover a whole new approach to making art, can be found by going to arttolifepodcast.com. And secondly, if you could leave a rating and review in whatever app you're listening on today, I would super appreciate it. It makes a big difference. And last but not least, before you go, if you'd like to be on my artist list, every Sunday morning I send out a video blog all about art making. Go to arttolifepodcast.com to sign up. And all these links are in the show notes, of course. Thanks so much for being here, and we'll see you next week.